Hey friends, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. This video is kind of a video that I hadn't even planned to do. It's totally spur of the moment. And let me tell you how it came about. I sat down on Sunday night and I was like, I just want to plan a week in a couple of the different planners that I have. I want to just plan this week in each of them and see if one jumps out and speaks to me like more than the other ones. Like I'm loving my passion planner and I don't plan on switching from that till the end of this year, because everything is really so planned in there and set. And then you guys know I plan to try out my ERIN CONDREN vertical at the beginning of next year, even though I have no idea how that will go and I might end up back in my passion planner. But when I sat down and planned in several planners, Get to Workbook was the one that was most similar to passion planner and the one that seemed like I could totally jump into if I needed to. Like if someone took away my passion planner this week, I could totally get into using the Get to Workbook. It would work for me 100%. So I wanted to go through and show you this week planned in it and tell you what I love about it and why it works for me. Okay, she has the best ruler of any planner ruler. It's durable and it actually has the real measurements on there that you can see easily. Just the size, it makes it easy to flip to today, but even though it's durable, it's really easy to pop in and out. So I love their planner ruler. It's the best one of all the planner rulers that I've been given with my planners. Okay, I love how it's black and white because you can add any colors you want. So like each month, just like in my passion planner, I would assign it a color. This month is this green in my passion planner. So I would assign the same color here and just use it all throughout the month. Also, being just all black and white lends itself, like the passion planner, for me being able to highlight, use markers, and do all that at will. And I love that. I love how her days, you're not wasting any room because there's not even like lines. They're just backed up to one another. And I love how it's just so muted with the gray and the white alternating that if I wanted to make a longer to-do list, I could draw like a line out here and or even higher up, and the whole bottom could be my to-do list, and this could just a smaller section up here be my daily plan. I love her 3 boxes up here, even though I tend to write too big and I have to use like 2 lines for one appointment because I just like to write big apparently. That's probably because I don't love to sit down and just take so much time to plan, and so if I'm just scribbling something down, I'm just not normally going to sit down and try to write it so small to fit. So that's probably why most of my appointments take up 2 boxes. But this lends itself to my planning style, which is how I've adapted my passion planner too, that I can put my appointments or my places I have to go to that day or something that is a non-negotiable that must get done that day goes up here. And then I can see like, oh, I have absolutely, no non-negotiables on this day. I have no appointments. I have nothing that has to happen that day. These things need to happen for sure, but I'm not scheduled to be anywhere. So those are nice things. Now, I don't write in church every Sunday because that is ingrained in my brain. Like I know where I'm going to be every Sunday morning. So I don't write that on my schedule. All right. But I've used it pretty much the same way I have my passion planner. And one thing I do love though, now they have different boxes over here than the passion planner. I like how they have 3 big action items for the week. Passion planner, you have one little weekly focus box, and then you have good things that have happened this week box, which I love both of those boxes. And I would miss writing down my good things. Like I would probably want to do it somewhere else on here. But something that I might institute into my passion planner is actually 3 action items. I might start using that in there because when I looked at that, I was like, wow, this is kind of a game changer for me because it helps me even in my to-do list notebook, which I write out in my ERIN CONDREN weekly for my whole big to-do list for the week. I can see things that like, I really want to get these 3 things accomplished this week. They really need to happen and I want to get them checked off. So like those are just, they stand out to me there. It's like my 3 action items this week. I love having this extra room for to-do lists and notes. Like I said, if I was using this, I would probably draw a line and make that come up higher. I was kind of experimenting with the gym and my scripture reading where I would write down to keep track of, unless I wanted to tape in like a passion planner habit tracker, which I could since I cut mine down small. So I could tape that in here. But I was kind of working on that. I was working on where I would want to write the weather, because sometimes I keep track of that in my planner. But I love how each day of the week stands out big. Like, it's like there's not a question what day it is. You just glance at your page. I like planners like this. It's August, it's Tuesday, it's the 8th. Like, that is just boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't have to think about that. It stands out at the top. It's so clear and basic. Now, is her paper as thick as Inkwell? No. Is it as thick as Passion Planner? I don't quite think so. And Passion Planner is upping their paper game in 2018. They're going up to 120 GSM. They were at 100, and I already thought their paper was great for the price and had no problems with bleed through or ghosting. So I'm really excited to fill the new Passion Planner paper. So it does feel like it might even be recycled paper. I don't know, but honestly, it's not something that bothers me enough to deter me from using the planner. It's not a slick paper, so it has a tooth that seems to like feel like absorb your ink. It absorbs your marker and your pen. But so I wanted to show you my favorite things about this planner again, and how when I planned this week in it, when I went and literally planned in like 4 planners this Sunday night, this was the one that I was like, I could use this besides Passion Planner, like right now. Of course, I couldn't plan in all my planners because like my ERIN CONDRENs for 2018. So just all the ones I had for 2017. Let me show you what a monthly view looks like. I went ahead and even wrote out my monthly view in here, the appointments and stuff we had already, and I highlighted stuff to see how the highlighting would work. And you might be able to see a little bit of the highlighting. You can see a little bit of the crossing off. So it does have a little bit of ghosting, you can see. But then again, she's not someone who is going around boasting about their paper. Their paper is good. It's, you know, it could be better. But because she's not saying, you know, our paper doesn't do this or that, like Emily Lay, I'm not going to complain about the paper. So it's totally fine with me. I like how the calendar is so just, it's black and white. Once again, you can add any monthly color you want for stuff to stand out. I like the notes section at the bottom. One thing I don't like is she doesn't have any holidays on here. And I like my holidays to be written in, because that's just one more thing for me to do. Now, I do have to do that in Passion Planner because I like the undated. But of course, that comes along with having undated. If I have a dated planner, I really want the holidays, because I even kind of like to see when there's small holidays that I don't celebrate, but I just like to see what's going on. So I like to see them on there. I also love planners that put in the moon phases, which y'all have heard me mention before, just because if I'm paying for a planner to be all dated and everything, I don't know, I like to see those things. You get your previous month and your next month, which is a nice addition. I think the design of it is really cool with the word written big there and everything. But me, I always want more calendar box real estate. So I would like move this over and probably like use more room for boxes. I don't know. It looks awesome, but I can always use bigger boxes myself. So these are a tad bit on the small size for me and boxes, but I could make it work. So let's go to like basically a blank month. I even wrote one thing in there so you guys can see how there's no holidays. She dates the next month in a light gray like mini calendars do, which I like. She has a Sunday start to her monthly calendar and a Monday start to her weekly, which is how the majority, more than not, do it that way. So I just wanted you guys to see this blank. Now, something you get at the end of every month, which I also like a lot, is you get her project breakdown page, which you also get several at the end of the planner. I love her project breakdown page. You can buy tablets of this on her site, just a tablet of it. I think it can be used for so many different things, and it's just a really useful item. She has grid pages, a grid page in between every month, and then a reflect and goal set page. And I really like what this page says. Last month's wins, still in progress, to let go of, to think on, to work on, to complete. These certain categories tend to motivate my brain. It's thinking right along my same lines. So they really help me to think of things that I wouldn't think on. Like when I see the words to think on, then I'm like, oh yeah, okay. What do I need to think on for coming up in November? What do I need to work on in November? What do I need to complete in November? You know, what did I get done last month? What is still in progress? What do I just need to let go of? Like it was on the list, but it's just not going to happen right now. So I love those. Now, let me grab some of her in between here. She has perforated motivational quotes after each month too. And then the next month starts. Your tab goes on the month. So her monthly motivational quotes have the month, and then they have a little quote, and room for this month is all about. Now you can tear these out and hang them up or put them in front of your desk, or you can leave them in here, of course. They're on thick cardstock. They're really nice, and I've shown these before on my Instagram, all of them. And I just really like it. Every year she comes up with new ones. So that's kind of a really nice extra touch. Those are behind every month, and then you start your next month. I wasn't going to go into all these details. I was just going to show you how I planned my week. But in case you don't want to go watch the other Get to Work book review videos, which I have gone into more detail on, she has academic years and calendar years. This is a calendar year 2017. At the very end, you get your grid graph paper and then your project breakdown page, and then grid graph paper, project breakdown page on the back. So that's awesome because it's kind of like you could even be writing about this project. You know, you see them next to each other. Like here's your project and here's kind of notes and breakdown of it too. And then you can organize it more here in your squares. So you get quite a few of those, and then it goes into just the graph paper and a kind of little to-do checklist there, project date. And you get a couple of those, and then that's it. Big things happen one day at a time. I love her slogan. And that's the end. Now, you don't get a pocket in this one, and you don't get a band to keep it shut. She sells a band. You have to buy it separately, though. But it does come with the bookmark. And it does have the hardest chipboard cover of any of my other planners. And I've played around a lot with this one and carried it around a lot, and the O-rings have completely held up. And considering that is the hardest cover, it's like, and because of the paper she used, it's not too heavy. Her paper just doesn't feel heavy. Anyway, you guys, that's just my thoughts on it, that I could totally jump into this from Passion Planner and make it work for me. And there's some things in here that I even like better than Passion Planner. I guess it's just, you know, it's different seasons, what we're in, but this one could work for me now, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Maybe if any of you are thinking of it as we're coming to the end of summer, I think everyone's thinking about calendar year planners for next year, those of us who change out at calendar year time. All right, guys, have a great day. Happy planning, and we'll see you next time.